Every cut is progress. Every fallen log is a victory over nature. This channel celebrates the strength, skill, and courage of real loggers. This isn't just a job, it's passion in motion. Welcome to the world of Wood Channel. The sharp chainsaw screeches as it marks the first incision, tracing the fate of the giant tree. The worker stands firm, eyes intense, scanning every detail. With the precision of an engineer, he carves a triangular notch into the trunk, a deep wedge on one side, carefully defining the fall direction. Every rev of the engine, every screech of the blade is an unrelenting assault. The towering tree is no longer an obstacle. It's an opponent, and the steel is winning. Wooden wedges are hammered in at just the right moment, helping the blade push deeper and smoother, strategic allies in this tactical takedown. Then, crash, the massive tree trembles and falls, its impact echoing like a drumroll of victory. The battle is over. Once again, human skill and power have claimed mastery over nature. A group of workers are cutting down a giant burnt tree in the forest. With the cutting points pre-marked, the chainsaw descends swiftly. Without hesitation, each precise stroke slices the log into even, clean segments, fast and efficient. A thick spray of wood chips fills the air like a glittering mist of sawdust, dancing in the light. Fresh wood grain gradually emerges from each cut, spiraling patterns carved by time itself. The rich, raw scent of resin fills the space, evoking a sense of purity and origin, as if the tree had just awakened from a decades-long slumber. Today, a tall red oak spar stands its final moment. Equipped with a lightning protection system, this giant once braved the storms. But now, it's time for a safe and precise takedown. With expert cuts and calculated notches, the tree begins to lean. And with one final push, it falls gracefully to the forest floor. A powerful, controlled fall, respecting both nature and safety. safety harness, hangs high in the air, using a chainsaw to cut the tree trunk into neat pieces. Each piece is carefully lowered to the ground exactly as he wishes. The chainsaw had done its job. Clean, decisive cuts tore through the thick trunk. Yet, the tree remained standing, stubborn, unyielding, as if defying gravity and time. Then she stepped forward. With a wooden wedge in one hand and a solid hammer in the other, she didn't hesitate. Each strike echoed, thud, thud, like fate knocking on the door. And then, a deep crack. The tree surrendered, crashing to the ground in a In the blinding white of a snowy forest, the chainsaw roars like a beast unleashed in the frozen wild. The logger steps through deep snow, chainsaw spinning with raw power. Every footprint sinks into the cold. Every cut defies nature's icy grip. Wood splinters, snow scatters. Every second is a tense duel between man and the towering titan of timber. And then, the crack of destiny. The giant falls with a thunderous crash into the snowy silence. A massive branch from the towering tree is being cut. The chainsaw shrieks through the silence, a roar like a wild beast striking. Its blade bites deep into the thick wood, sending splinters flying. Within seconds, the heavy branch is severed clean. The tree hesitates, as if waiting for one final push. Each hammer strike against the wedge speeds up the inevitable. And then, boom. The massive trunk collapses in an unstoppable moment of force. Giant old-growth trees, so massive it would take 2 or 3 adults linking arms to wrap around the trunk, can't simply be felled with a few cuts. First, they must be tamed from above. The lumberjack stands firmly inside an aerial bucket, lifted high by a crane into the dense canopy. Carefully, he trims heavy, thick branches using a roaring chainsaw. One by one, the massive limbs fall away, clearing the upper structure for the final confrontation. With a long, razor-sharp chainsaw, he approaches the main trunk. Each cut is deliberate and powerful. Then comes the crash, a thunderous boom as the ancient tree finally gives in. The trunk is then sectioned into massive rounds. Each log, thick and tall as a man, rests on the forest floor, a testament to precision, raw power, and fearless craftsmanship. In the middle of the forest, the worker wore protective clothing. He turned on the saw blade roared. Shards of coal flew out with a powerful cutting force. Black sawdust floated in the cold wind. Amidst the ashes, the image of the worker appeared full of courage and determination.
Yep. Sawyer's ready.
The push wedge is
3,
driven into
2,
the base
1,
of the
go.
tree like a silent weapon. A lumberjack steps into the forest, armed with the powerful steel MS-362 chainsaw. With calm precision, he begins to cut into the tree's trunk. The roar of the engine echoes through the woods as sawdust flies. Each move is skillful, ensuring the tree falls safely in the planned direction. This is the strength and mastery of a seasoned professional at work.